We have a little technical dude.
It says it's recording, but it's not showing up.
Okay. Let Lamar. Let the system. Next call. Shot. You got the Facebook Live, right? That's good enough. That'll work. All right. Let everybody know. Yeah.
Esther chapter 1, verse 1.
All right.
It passed in the days of Assyrius. This is Assyrius which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 127 provinces. That in those days, when the king Assyrius sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan.
Is it anybody that know who a king Assyrius was? I didn't know who it is. Y'all ever seen that movie 300? Where they do it, 300 where a bunch of white boys, they fight, they're in this like by this cave in a little small. Nobody seen the movie 300? They're in this small little cave, but they killing a bunch of enemies. It is. And the cat, one of the cats that was coming against him was king. He was called King Xerxes. Right. You understand? He was king of Persia. You understand? And so that's who this actually is right here. They can look him up. All types of stuff come up on Google about him and all that. You know what I mean? He was king of Persia. All right, go ahead, Rick.
Which was in Shushan, the palace. In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants.
Right. And also, too, what's key about this king right here is that this was during the time we started to not follow the Lord after King Solomon. You had kings that came after King Solomon that didn't keep the way of the Lord, and because of that, we end up going into captivity. What captivity we going to? We going to the Babylonian captivity. Now, when we was during the time when we was in Babylon, of course, Babylon lost their power to who? The empire had conquered the Babylonians. They ended up taking over the Babylonian kingdom, which once they took over their kingdom, we was in that kingdom at that time. So this is during the time I'm trying to give you a historical line to let you know what time period it was when Esther did this great deed. It was when we was in the Persian captivity. All right, keep going.
And his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Go ahead.
When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom, and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. The king made a feast unto the people that were present in Shushan the palace, great and small. 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
Right, keep going.
Where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of linen and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble.
Right, so this basically just going into, it's just showing you what type of power he was. He had a feast. You understand? He had all the guests come. You understand? He's showing which was the tradition of kings is when they had nations come over, they would show their power through festivals or feasts, which is all this is describing right here. Keep going.
The beds were of gold and silver.
They were what?
Of gold and silver.
Imagine laying on a bed that's made of gold and silver. Rich and powerful that this man was. All right, keep reading.
Upon a pavement of red and blue and black marble.
Right.
And they gave them drink in the vessels of gold.
Right. So the cups that they was drinking out of was made of pure gold. Keep reading.
The vessels being diverse one from another. And royal wine in abundance.
Right.
According to the state of the king.
Right.
And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel. For so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Right. And this law right here wasn't talking about the law of Israel. This law was talking about the law that he had and that he created for his people. It didn't have nothing to do with the law of Israel.
Right.
All right, keep going.
Also, Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house.
Now, this is his queen right here. Instead of gathering and all of that, his queen, she had a feast as well. Keep going.
Belonged to King Ahasuerus. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Arbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethur, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal. Crown royal.
Go get the queen and have her come through with her crown to represent that she's my queen. Right. You understand? Keep going.
To shew the people and the princes her beauty. For she was fair to look on.
She's a very beautiful woman. That's what it means. When it says fair to look on. Go ahead.
But the queen Vashti refused to come to the king's command.
She did what?
Refused to come at the king's command.
That pissed this king off. He just had a feast. He getting married, happy, he drinking wine and all that. So what's next? He wanted his woman to come sin, but she refused. Keep going.
By his chamberlain. Therefore was the king very wroth.
He was what?
Very wroth. And his anger burned in him.
Keep going.
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment.
When it says that then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, what does that mean? Who is that talking about right there when it says the wise man who knew the times? Anybody. Everybody. Go ahead.
The priest.
The who?
The priest?
No, not what priest? This wasn't the Israelite priest. He said the wise man that knew the times. What does knew the times mean in the Bible? Go ahead.
Like, sir, they mean witches.
Give me more.
People that they deal with looking into towards the future.
Right. Better known as
Fortune teller?
Fortune tellers. What's another name they give?
Miss Cleo.
Who?
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo, astrologists.
Right.
You understand? You know, people that you go to and you ask them, well, what's gonna happen, you know what I'm saying, when what's gonna happen to me in 2 weeks? You know what I'm saying? And she sit there and she makes something up, charge you $100 and send you on back out the door. She tell you, oh, you gonna get some in 2 weeks, you gonna get some money. That's what she tell you. In 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying, you getting your paycheck. You know what I'm saying? But you looking at it as though she done told you something deep. Or she might tell you, you know what? In 3 weeks, somebody in your family gonna die.
Right.
Here's the only problem. What's the problem with that?
You're probably not gonna die.
No, somebody in their family is gonna die. If you were so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, that's the point. You understand? Like those, when you go to these people, they know Black people. They know that you in poverty. They know your problems and all of that. So you easy to predict. You thinking you going in there being simple as hell. You thinking when you go in there that you hearing something deep. Right. It's easy to see when you look at a Black person and you telling them, oh, well, somebody in your family gonna die. Black people dying every day. You going to the funeral house every day. If it ain't for somebody getting shot, it's your auntie and got her leg cut off and she finally died from breast cancer. So that's not nothing hard. So that's all this was right here, was observing the time. He went to his astrologist to find out things. All right, keep going.
Verse 14. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar,
skip down to verse 15.
Okay. Verse 15. Which shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law? Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains.
Right. They saying, what should we do to this? What should we do to her according to our law? Because she disobeyed you. The king called for the queen to come and she disobeyed you. What should we do? Keep going.
And Memucan, answered before the king and the princes that she, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only, but also to the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Assyrians. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women. Shall come abroad unto all women.
Listen, I know that he, but what he's saying is correct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's saying this disrespect that the king is shown to the king. And once this get heard abroad, all the wives gonna start disrespecting their friends. Right? They men. Right. He's saying so something got to be done. Even though they're kingdoms, I mean, that's wisdom right there. You understand? Keep going.
So that they shall despise their husbands. Despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king of Syria commanded that she, the queen, to be brought in before him. But she came not.
But she what?
Came not.
This right here, she was what you call rebellious. You understand? I don't know what was going on with the heathen woman, but she for sure wasn't listening. She wasn't obeying anything that the king said.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
Likewise, shall the ladies of Persia and the Media, king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before the king, or before King Assyrians, and let the king give her royal estate unto another.
Let what?
Give her royal estate unto another.
So basically, they was about to be thrown. You understand? She disrespected the king, didn't obey his order. So he's saying that we let this disrespect go abroad, don't do anything. So then this is going to destroy the whole nation. Right. So basically, what he's saying, he's telling the king is he's wrong. Take Queen Vashti off of her. All right, keep going.
That is better than she. And when the king's
that is what
better than she,
that's heavy right there. He's saying instead of her being queen, give it to a woman that's more worthy. Right, keep going.
And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great.
Published what?
Throughout all his empire.
What is the empire? Go ahead, sir.
The whole city, and which is under his leadership.
The whole city which is under his leadership. You somewhere right. It's a little stronger than that. Though. America is an empire. Go ahead.
Is it like something that you build that has rain everywhere?
All over the earth. It's more than just like you got countries. You got this country, that country, and all that. But the difference between countries and an empire is empire, their power extends beyond the actual land that they live in. You understand? So Persia at this time, they ruled many different nations and many different people. Go ahead.
So it would basically be like the most powerful kingdom out there.
At that time, they was the most powerful because they conquered the most powerful kingdom who was before them, which was Babylon.
Right.
You understand? Which is how it goes. If you conquer the nation that run the planet, then you the head of everything.
Right.
All right. Let's go. Come on.
All the wives shall give their husbands honor, both to great and small.
What were you in there?
Verse 21.
Okay.
And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Mecucan.
Right. So now they at a point where they dethroning this queen, and they go out to try to find another queen for the king. Go ahead.
For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof.
Now these provinces is just sort of like America. You understand, where you got many different lands and languages and different people. So you're dealing with all different races. This ain't just Medes. He wasn't just over Medes and Persian. He was over Israelites, Asians, devils, all of that. His provinces is like the state. You understand? Like somebody's taking a letter and they send it to all 50 states. He sent out a letter to his provinces. Keep on.
And to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house.
And if I could, that shows me this talking about more people. It said every people after their language. Keep going.
And it should be published according to the language of every people.
All right, y'all gotta put them phones on mute. You got a phone, put it on mute. Right? Keep going.
Okay. 2. After these things, when the wrath of the king Assyrius was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done, and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, young virgins sought for the king.
Let it be what?
Fair young virgins sought for the king.
What does it mean, fair young virgins? Come on.
It means a young woman of marriageable age.
A young virgin is a young woman of marriageable age. What does it mean when it says fair and young? Go ahead.
It's like very meaning she's beautiful.
Beautiful. He didn't want you to just go out and he searching for a wife. He wanted the best of the best.
Right.
He didn't say go out there and get a bunch of boogers and bring them to the forefront. He said go out there and get the most beautiful women. Keep going.
And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the women,
Right.
unto the custody of Haggai, and the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things be pure, and let their things for purification be given them. And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
And he what?
Did so.
Go ahead.
Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew.
Like who?
A certain Jew.
Go ahead.
Whose name was Mordecai.
This brother right here was a bad cat right here.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? You about to find out about Mordecai. Mordecai was a bad cat. And Mordecai's brother that actually raised Esther. Right. The scripture said he raised up a child in the way that they should go and they should never depart. Mordecai did that. Mordecai stood on the laws, on the principles of the Lord, on the laws, statutes, and commandments. And in it, he did a good job with his sister. Go ahead.
Mordecai, he's Esther's uncle. Right. She didn't have a mother or a father. You understand? So he raised her like he took her in as his own daughter. You understand? Right. The son of Jair, the son of Shemaiah, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
A what?
A Benjamite.
Who are the so-called Benjamites today? Come on, what's it? Right, stand. Go ahead.
Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity.
They did what?
Were carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity.
Which I was mentioning earlier. You know what I'm saying? But we had been carried away from Jerusalem during the time of the Babylonians took us in captivity. Right. You understand? Which is heavy because, believe it or not, we done been under slavery under damn near every nation on the planet Earth. This is the Lord. This ain't the first time that you in captivity. Right. You understand? This is something you used to. You understand? Like this is they call it a broken record. Right. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing new. Keep on.
Which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah. Who cousin the king of Babylon.
Nebuchadnezzar.
The king of Babylon had carried away.
Right.
And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, Esther, his uncle's daughter.
Go ahead.
For she had neither father nor mother. And the maid was fair and beautiful.
She was
fair and beautiful.
So Esther, you know what I'm saying? She was gorgeous. You understand? She was beautiful to behold. All right, keep going.
When her father and her mother were dead, he stood for his own daughter.
Right.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan, the palace, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house, to the custody of the God, keeper of the women.
Go ahead.
And the maiden pleased him.
What?
And the maiden pleased him.
And all the women that was brought, this is the right here was the most pleasing. She was the finest. I mean, ain't no use of sugarcoat. She was the most beautiful out of all the women that was brought. Right. Keep going.
And she obtained kindness of them. And she speedily gave her things for purification. with such things as belonged to her,
Right.
and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her
Right.
out of the king's house.
Mhm.
And he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women. Esther had not shewed her people nor her kindred,
Right.
for Mordecai had charged her that she should not shew it.
So we go verse 11.
Verse 11 now.
Okay, read it again.
Verse 10. Esther had not shewed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not shew it.
What does that mean? What?
They shall away from her family.
Make sure you speak up loud if we on live so that people get it.
Meaning like shun away from her home and people, her family.
Well, not shut away, but she didn't make it known that she was the Israelite. You understand? She kept her names and the nation who she was, she kept that on the low. You know what I'm saying? Mordecai had gave her that charge. So don't even tell people who you are. You know what I'm saying? That you Israel, that you were Jew and all that. He gave her that charge for a particular reason. And we're going to find out later on in the story why he told her that. This is very significant. All right, keep going.
Come. And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did,
Right.
and what should become of her.
Right.
Turn was come into King Ahasuerus. After that, she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purification.
This even right here, they custom was that a woman before she could be married to the king or be seen by the king, she had to purify herself for a whole year. You understand? How they did their purification was they were getting water, you know what I'm saying, getting there with oils and all that different stuff right there. And that's cool and that's nice. But that ain't really, that's not how a woman should truly purify herself. You know, that's nice and that's a good symbolism and all of that. But how does a woman in the nation of Israel purify herself? That she getting bad water and put oils and spices in there and all of that, now she good to go. She purified now? How does a woman in the nation of Israel purify herself? Go ahead, sis. The hope. Give the sister a hand. That's how you purify yourself. It's nice to get bath water and soap and all that, and put all the herbs and spices and smell good and all that. All that's cool. But if you a damn monster from the Black Lagoon, what in the hell does that mean? Because you didn't went and gotten some soap and some water. How you purify yourself according to the Lord is you come in here, you learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. What food that you should eat as a woman. Actively. You understand? That's the way that you get purified. Not no soap, spices, and all of that. You know, what you should do, of course. But that ain't how you get purified according to the Lord. Right. All right, keep going.
To wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women. To the king. Whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the women. Sha'ashgaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name. Now when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Behal, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go into the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of women, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her.
All right, come on, pick up where he left off, right?
Verse 15.
Nice and loud.
Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abilah, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing. But what?
He just read it. Verse 16.
Verse 16. The king, into his royal into his house royally in the 10th month, which is the month Tibet, in the 7th year of his reign. Verse 17. And the king loved Esther.
And he what?
And the king loved Esther above all the women.
Above what?
Above all the women.
She had favor in the king's sight. Keep going.
And favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set his royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Right, you understand? So she found favor, you understand, over all the other women, you understand, that was in his kingdom. This is the hit, she found favor, and he made her queen. You understand? Keep going. Let's go.
Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants,
Right.
even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and he gave gifts. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate.
Go ahead.
Esther had not yet shown her kindness nor her people.
Not read it again.
Show her kindness nor her kindred. Had not yet shown her kindred nor her people.
Right. She hadn't made known whether she was an Israelite. You understand, or whatever the case may be. Keep going.
As Mordecai had charged for Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlain, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth, and sought to lay hand on the king of Syria.
Okay.
To Mordecai, who told me unto Esther the queen, right? And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
So basically, you had these two cats out here. Y'all had these two cats out here that looking to kill the king. You understand? And Mordecai found out about it, and he made it known to Esther. And Esther told the king, "Keep going."
And when inquisition was made on the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree.
It was what?
They were both hanged on a tree.
Right. So once the king found out, you understand that it was a conspiracy to kill him. He had these two cats hanging on a tree, which is significant. It's going to play into the story as we go along. Keep going.
And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
Go ahead. Not the Chronicles of the Bible, you understand, but the Chronicles of Persia. You understand? Meaning, when I say Chronicles, they're records. All right, keep going.
Esther chapter 3, verse 1. After these things, their king Assyrius promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Right. So this guy here, Haman, he's gonna play a very significant part too. The king at this time had promoted this guy to a high position. Damn near like second in the kingdom of Persia.
And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced him.
They did what?
Bowed and reverenced him.
This guy right here was so powerful that everybody in the kingdom of Persia, they bowed before him and they reverenced him. I mean, they showed him his due respect.
For the king has so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not.
But Mordecai what?
But Mordecai bowed not.
Keep going.
Nor did him reverence.
Right. Everybody bowed down before this cat and come on. You understand? I mean, literally bowed before him and gave him reverence, except Mordecai. Mordecai was a Jew. Right. You understand? He was raised up under the law, statutes, and commandments. While everybody was bowing, he decided not to do that. You understand? Keep going.
Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressors thou the king's commandment? When they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai matter was stand. For he had told them that he was a Jew. He told them what? For he had told them that he was a Jew. Keep going. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
Right. This heathen was mad. You understand? Like heathens do when they in power and might and all of that. They want to be glorified. They want you to bow down at their feet and reference them. You understand? But Mordecai, out of all the people that bow down to him seeing Mordecai not do that, it angered him. Right. You understand? This made him very angry. Keep going.
To lay hands on Mordecai alone, but they had to show him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore heaven sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Assyria, even the people of Mordecai.
You see that? Like this cat right here, he ain't just had hatred for Mordecai. Nation that Mordecai was a part of, right, and had hatred for all Israel. Right. Which goes to show you that now you're not just being a part of this nation, you're not just an individual. You understand? You're a part of a bigger family. Right. You understand? Just like you got here in America, you got brothers that go out there and they commit crimes. You understand? And they get away with the crime. But what does the white man do? If you might get away, but what is the white man gonna do?
Like he's gonna get the other brother. He could be innocent, but he's still gonna get him because he's a part of my nation.
That's the point. You understand? That's why you got the prison full of brothers who didn't do the crime. They ain't did nothing but being black, which goes to show you that we all in this together right here. We all one nation. If I can do a crime and get away with it, guess what? You're going to jail. You understand? So being an individual or trying to, fight yourself in being worried about yourself and not your nation is the wrong road to take. Right. You understand? Like you're supposed to be, even though you are an individual, you're supposed to be about your nation. You understand? And I realize and understand that we all in this together. Our forefathers came on slave ships together and flown over the boats and all that, and we suffered 400 years together, and we're gonna get out of captivity together. It ain't gonna be no individual that help us get out of captivity. Right. You get my point? So this cat right here, he looked at him and hated him and hated his whole nation.
In the first month, that is the month Nisan.
What verse you at?
Verse 7.
Chapter 4? Okay.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3, go ahead.
In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Assyria, they cast purr.
Skip down to verse 8.
Verse 8. And heaven said unto the king of Assyria, there is a certain people scattered abroad, and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and all the laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's law. Therefore, but it's not for the king's profit to suffer that.
You hear what this heathen said? He said it's a people out there that's different from all the heathen's laws. It's the case in point right now. You know what I'm saying? Where the Chinese, the white man, the African, they all got their customs and their beliefs and all of that. They eat rat, cat, dog. It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? When you being the Lord's people, you got particular laws on what you can eat. You got particular laws on how you can dress. You got particular laws on how you're supposed to deal with one another. Right. These heathens, they just go whatever comes to mind, that's what they do. Whatever is natural, they do it. Homosexuality, and that's what they feel like doing, then that's what they're gonna do. They ride it hard, you know what I'm saying, when another man come around, and that's what they're gonna go into. But if you are in the nation of Israel, you're supposed to teach your sons that it's wrong to be a homosexual. That's right. That right there is not to be permitted. The Lord gonna put you to death. You're gonna get a disease. You're gonna get put to death from that. Right. Same way with a woman. You ain't supposed to be a lesbian. Every other nation's laws. Right. You get my point? Keep going.
And if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed.
You gotta read nice and loud. Like, come on, brother. Like you at camp. Come on.
1,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of business. The charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave him to Haman, the son of Hamithia, the Jews' enemy. And what? The Jews' enemy.
This guy was an enemy of the Jews. Go ahead.
And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month.
Down to verse 4. Start at chapter 4 and 1.
Esther chapter 4, verse 1. Well, Mordecai,
did you read verse 13? Chapter 3, verse 13.
Esther chapter 3, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
By posts into all the king's provinces,
Mm-hmm.
to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews.
What?
All Jews.
Go ahead.
Both young and old.
Mm-hmm.
Little children and women.
What?
Little children and women.
See how these heathens are? When they seeking out to destroy your nation, they don't show any mercy. Kill the men, they have to kill the women, they have to kill the children. It don't matter. You understand? The same way how you see America doing right now.
Right.
You understand? They don't just have adults. They're not just deporting adults. They go into these schools and deporting these Hispanic brothers and sisters. You understand? And the tribe of Judah being the Negroes, you think that Donald Trump ain't got nothing to eat? You think that you're gonna go unscathed? Right. With the so-called tribe of Isupk, which is the so-called Mexicans, and not just them. What they don't report is all of these tribes, Cubans, Puerto Ricans. If you ain't got the papers, they deport you. They destroying families. They don't have any care, you understand, for you as a people at all. Go ahead.
Look at over at Rolling Rock, the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, one of the peace treaties was that they want to mess with the pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the messing with their pipelines, putting our Native Indian brothers and sisters in dog cages but naked, throwing rocks at them and poking sticks. Right now, something like that.
Not the tribe, the coast.
North Dakota, thank you.
That's correct.
Understand? They don't have to work hard.
Which is heavy because they're doing the same thing to Isupk. Like, who in the hell puts a human being in a dog cage but an animal? Right? You understand? Children. I mean, you can look this up. You can Google this. There ain't nothing wrong out there. I'm just making up in my mind. You can look it up. A white man is putting human beings in dog cages. You get my point? And listen, guess what? They're getting support by their whole nation. Hatred is so wrong and all that. It's, but America, if you want to deal with reality, you got to deal with reality. America was built off of hatred. Right. America, it can't function unless hatred is at the top of everything. Right. You understand? Which is why Donald Trump is saying, make America great again. They feel as though the last 8 years, they thought they had a so-called Negro in office and all of that. But now he's saying, let's turn back to what made America great. Now, if you know anything about history, what made America great? Having the Israelites as slaves. Having the Israelites as slaves. You understand? The first thing that made America great was when they came over here, Christopher Columbus and all of that, and slaughtered the North American Indians to the number of 7. That's how America got great. You want to know how America was built? I know you might not like it, you don't want to hear it or whatever, but America was built off of slaughter of a bunch of people. Right. And then once they slaughtered the Native American Indians, what did they do? Decided to go get you so-called Negroes, Benjamites, and all these other tribes and bring you to this country to establish slavery. So when he say make America great again, he's talking about destroying you. You know what I'm saying? You so caught up in Atlanta Housewives and what's these other shows they got out here? Hip Hop Atlanta. Start sitting there watching Hip Hop Atlanta, tuned in like a damn dummy. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Donald Trump is sitting in his office among his elites, and he's just making up plans to destroy our nation. Right? But you're so caught up in America, in the ways of America, that you can't see what's going on. Right. Which is why the Lord raised up prophets to be able to come out there and tell you, this is what's going to happen. This is what you need to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Get the Most High hand for that. You know what I mean? Let's go.
And one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month,
right,
which is the month of Dar.
What verse you got out? All right. Okay, you dropped that started on Esther 4:1.
Esther chapter 4, verse 1.
Keep reading.
When Mordecai received all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out in the midst of the city and cried with a loud and a bitter cry. And came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province.
So Mordecai was in a sad state. he heard about the letters that were sent out all over the kingdom, and that made him sad. You understand? Which, if you really care about your people and your nation, when you see the destruction of it, you're gonna have some type of compassion and sympathy. Which Mordecai had. Keep going.
And in every province, whatsoever the king's commandment, and its decree came, there was a great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. So Esther's maid and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai.
Right. So Mordecai, he heard what was about to happen, and he made it known to Esther what was about to go down, and this made her sad. You know what I'm saying? This sister she wasn't just a sister, she was a sister that had compassion about what was about to happen to her nation. All right, keep going.
And to take away his sackcloth from him. But he received it not.
He what? He wanted to just mourn. You understand? She wanted to take the sackcloth away from him, which that's what the sackcloth was at that time. Sackcloth was when the Israelites, they take that and put dust on their head, rip their clothes, and wear a certain type of clothing to mourn for what was done to their people. Right. You understand? So she tried to take it away from him. He like, no. Now once again, ain't nothing happened to the nation yet. He's just hearing about what's about to happen to the nation. You understand? Which made this brother sad. Right. All right, keep going.
They called Esther for Hector. He had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai. And why it was.
Go ahead.
So I went forth to Mordecai and to the streets of the city, which was before the king's gate.
Go ahead.
And Mordecai told him of all that had happened to him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasury for the Jews, to destroy them.
To what?
To destroy them.
Go ahead.
Also, he gave him a copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people.
To do what?
And to make request before him for her people.
You get my point. He said they letter, you understand, back to her to say, listen, you need to talk to the king about what's about to go down with your people. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be, they trying to, this guy Haman is trying to slaughter your people. Right. You understand? So he sent her a letter to say, listen, you got to do something about this. Now remember the relationship that they had. He raised his sister right here. You understand what you mean? That his words to her was heartfelt. You understand? Keep going.
An attack came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. And again, Esther spake unto Attack and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. Right. And the people of the king's provinces, do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the court, who is not called, of his to put him to death.
To do what?
There's one law of his to put him to death.
So she let him know, like, yeah, I can go talk to the king, but it ain't my time to go talk to him. If I go step before him right now, it's a possible chance. If he don't point that staff to me, and I come in his court, that I could be put to death. Right. You understand? Keep going.
Except such to whom the king the golden scepter, that he may live. Go ahead. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days.
So she let him know, like, me going to go talk to the king right now, this could be my life right here. Let him know, like, me going to talk to him is putting my life on the line. Now let's see if Mordecai, you know what I'm saying, could have said, all right, that's the king, you know what I'm saying, don't go say nothing. Let's read what Mordecai said. Let's go.
And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house.
Read that again.
Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house.
Go ahead. Hold your peace. Go ahead.
Is he saying that
If he kill all us, he gonna kill you too. Yeah. Read the full verse what?
Verse 13.
Read it again.
Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself.
Do what?
Think not with thyself.
What does that part mean right there? Think not with thyself. Go ahead.
So,
Yeah, you worried about you going up there and getting killed and all that. This ain't about you right now.
Right.
Meaning, how can I put it in UPK terms? Don't be a selfish bitch. Right, that's the point on this whole joint right here. Don't be selfish. You understand? This ain't about you right now. Keep going.
Think not with thyself, that thou shalt escape in the king's house. More than all the Jews.
More than what?
More than all the Jews.
Right. This thing, you know what I'm saying? This thing here is bigger than just you. You understand? This is about the whole nation. You understand? Keep going.
For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time.
For the what?
For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this
What does
time.
that mean? For if thou holdest thy peace at this time. Hold the young man behind.
She stayed quiet about the
Right. If you keep your mouth closed about your nation, about being your nation being destroyed, you keep going.
Then shall there be then shall there enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
What does that mean? Go ahead.
I would guess the Jews trying to kill him.
Right there. Read it again from the top.
Then
Read the call of the verse about it.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 14. Holdest thy peace at this time. Then shall there enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
Go ahead, young man.
A way for the Jews to get out of the situation.
That's the point. You say he telling her, listen, you got an opportunity, you understand, to do something for your nation. You should do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't do it, then the Lord gonna find another way to deliver his people. You understand? But that should let you know something. Like what he let Esther know is that even though you're in a position to save your people, the Lord will remove you something to you and will use somebody else to deliver this nation. You understand? And that's very heavy to remember because what happens with us in America, the individualism, the birthdays, and the different things that celebrate and puff you up like you somebody, the Lord will break all of that down. You understand? Like the Israelite school I.S.U.P.K is the school of the prophets, whether you like it or not. But guess what? The Lord don't need Lamar. The Lord don't need me. The Lord don't need you. He don't need you. You need you. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to do what the Lord requires, the Lord will remove you and bring somebody else in here who's more humble and who's ready to put in the work. Right. So don't think bigger yourself. That's right. The scriptures say our righteousness is as a filthy rag. When you get to thinking that you somebody special and that you over everybody and all of that right there, the Lord got ways of humbling you, man. Right. You understand? So that's what he's telling this sister right here, man. You got an opportunity to help your nation, you should do that. If not, the Lord is going to destroy you and your family, and he's going to find another way to deliver this nation. Right. So y'all remember that, man. Right. You understand? Read.
My father's house shall be destroyed.
Shall be what?
Shall be destroyed.
Keep on.
And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
For what?
For such a time as this.
What does that mean? For such a time as this? Who knows whether thou hast come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Well, young man.
That she got the position that she got for this time. The most high love.
Get a brother. This guy Mordecai, he had some serious wisdom. Right. First of all, he ain't bowed to the king. And now he's telling her, like damn near, like the whole purpose that you might even be in a position, you might be a queen, is for you to be in a position to save your people. Right. And that's heavy, man. Like a sister's supposed to look at this, what this sister did right here, and say, man, I want to be like that. Supposed to look at Mordecai and be like, man, I want to be like this brother right here. I want to name my son after a man like this. Him not bowing down to that king is the same way you go to an event and they play the national anthem and you sit for the national anthem. Right? Everybody else in the stands is standing. You ain't standing. You ain't standing for a flag and impress your people. You get my point? I keep going.
Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast eat from me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day.
Right. Like Esther, like, listen, I'm about to go do this. I'm gonna do what you said. But y'all, I need y'all to go fast for me. You know what I'm saying? Fast, like, what's the whole point of fasting?
It's giving up something that you need,
Right.
in order for something greater.
That's to get a brother in hand. That's the point of it. And you can just fast to be fasting, but the point of this fast right here that this sister is asking about is to make, she want the Lord to look down on this and say, people that came together for a particular purpose right here. You get my point? Keep reading.
I also, in my maidens, will fast likewise unto the king, which is not according to the law.
Right.
And if I perish, I perish.
And if I what?
And if I perish, I perish.
If I what?
And if I perish, I perish.
What is that? What that sister just say? If I could go ahead. I give that sister a hand. How many sisters can you find like that nowadays and say, you know what? I'm gonna go stand up for black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead. I'm gonna invite. Go ahead. Invite I.S.U.P.K. Give his brother a hand. He's very intelligent. You understand? You try to go tell a Christian, big butt woman to stand up for her nation, she won't be like, baby. I'm probably gonna get my nails done. You understand? I got a haircut. You talk about saving the nation. Please. Yeah, it's just like, okay, this is a special sister right here. You understand? Which is why she's in this. Remember, this is a male-dominated book right here. You understand? So this sister right here was a very special sister. She said that if I die, I die. You understand? So when a sister reads this, that's the same type of spirit that Esther had. It's the spirit that you sisters supposed to have. You get my point? What does the scripture say? Things aforetime was written before all of us. Right. When you open up this Bible right here, this ain't a book about no religion and no spookism and all of that, whatever you've been taught in the Christian church. This is a history book. This king that we read about here, Xerxes, look him up on Google, you're going to find out that he in everybody's history. So if he in everybody's history, and you open up the Bible with his name in the Bible, that should let you know that this Bible is a history book. Right. This ain't got nothing to do with the Baptist church and the Episcopalians and all these different religions that black people was following. It ain't got nothing to do with that. This book right here is a history book about God's people, man. Right. The Lord's people. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that don't no nation give a damn about. Remember, you the undesirables in the earth. You get my point? You so much of an undesirable, even your own people, you don't even desire. Right. You understand? Oprah Winfrey, when she got all that money and got rich and powerful, her studio right off the west side of Chicago, the damn ghetto. Now, when she had all that money, who she wouldn't help with that money?
Right.
Did she help the so-called black people on the west side? What you say, sis?
White folks.
Oh no, she didn't help the white folks. Go ahead, buddy. Who? That's the point. She went all the way over to Africa. She skipped past the brothers and sisters in the ghetto. Right. That's the point. Nobody want to help you, man. You understand? Everybody, the Africans want to come over here and make money off of you. Right. Every nation want to come over here and get paid off of you. You understand? Any black person that gets some type of money or gets some type of fame, they ain't coming to the ghetto. They ain't coming to the ghetto where they grew up at. They worry about the damn Africans. Africa, they got, you know how many billionaires they got over there? Over 200. You know that. They ain't even no damn money. Some of them African cities over there is rich as to be. Right. You understand? So what the hell is you worried about the damn people? Majority of them, that these are people that sold you into slavery, mm-hmm. And you trying to go help them. That's Israel for you. You see what I'm saying? That's the mindset that we in and that we got to get out of. That's right. You get my point? Let's go.
So more than
somebody else pick it up. Come on, you pick it up. Go ahead.
That's in chapter 4, verse 17.
Go ahead. That's chapter 4.
Verse 17. So Mordecai and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. It came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house over against the king's house.
Go ahead.
And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house over against the gate of the house.
Even though it's I like the sound of that. Sitting on the royal throne, the royal chair, and all that. I would like to do that. Right? You get my point, keep going. That's my own personal thing. I keep going. Keep going.
Verse 2. And it was so. The queen standing in the court that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king.
Sorry, read that again.
Verse 2. And it was so. When the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
She's standing in the court. Now remember, now she ain't even supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? But it just so happened that she found favor in the king's sight. Keep going.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. Drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
A scepter is like a staff. We ain't got no staff, do we? No. Yeah, scepter is like a staff. So he basically held out like a form of a stick. He held it out and she touched the top of it.
3. Then said the king unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
Now what is this sister doing in this right here? No, now Haman is the cat that hated the Jews. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Haman hated the Jews. So this sister went to the king, and the king, picked her, whatever, and she's having a gathering, and she's saying like, hey, I want you and Haman to come, to this feast or whatever. Right. What is this sister doing, Brian? Look, give me scripture. I mean, something, what the scripture say to do. Be wise as serpent. That is, everybody did say it again. Be wise as a serpent. She doing what the scripture say to do. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You understand? Meaning she's using her position to help her people. She's doing something right here. She's setting this cat hanging up to be killed. He don't even know. Right. He don't even know. Guess who else could do the same thing if she had the wisdom and knowledge and understand how to do it? Guess who else could have did that? Right? Michelle Obama. This brother right here, he's UPK sir. He knew I should give him a call. I should select somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Michelle Obama, you know what I'm saying? Her husband was in the presidency. Of course, her husband was a heathen. This man right here was a heathen. But how many times did you hear Michelle Obama get up there and say anything about the plight? She ain't had to use no money. Anything she could just got up there and said, man, I'm tired of seeing black people murdered in the streets. We need to come together. Right? She could have said that. I played the video. If you got a video where she's saying that, I'd like to see. Okay, I would like to see that. I would like to see that video where she said that. It ain't never happened. Because once again, Zephaniah 2:1 said, "Gather yourself together, whole nation not desire." Right. Michelle Obama is in that position of power, and she don't give a damn about black people. Right? This is something that you got to realize and understand is that even though we got people of all people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, what did the scripture say? Even though they Israel, they are not all of Israel. That's right. You understand? Like this nation right here is going to be built on brothers and sisters that give a damn about black people, man. That's right. It's gonna be built on. Yeah, give it up. Take those up. This nation right here is gonna be built on brothers and sisters who give a damn about Hispanics and Native American Indians. Truth is that all people, all black people don't care about black people. How do we know? Black people sell crack to their mothers. Right. Women is going to the abortion clinic every day to kill a life that's in their stomach. Like they do it like they want to get their nails done. Right. You understand? And that's a damn life. But what the white man tell them, oh, that's what pro-choice. Right. So the white man being the devil, you gonna listen to the white man and don't know that the Most High is gonna kill you for that. The Bible, the Most High is a cold killer. You sitting there listening to the white man talking about you got pro-choice. Okay, you go ahead and you got pro-choice. When you end up with that cancer eat you up, when you sit in that hospital bed dying, and your family coming to bring you food and all of that, then you don't know that the Lord did that.
Keep reading. Verse 5. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther had said.
Go ahead.
So the king and Haman that Esther had prepared. Verse 6. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition?
Right. He want to know why, you know what I'm saying, he was called. He want to know what's the reason that she called him and Haman to this feast. Keep going.
And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request?
Go ahead.
Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. Esther answered and said, my petition and my request is, verse 8.
Go ahead.
If I have found favor in the sight of the king,
go ahead.
And if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request,
go ahead.
Let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them. And I will do tomorrow as the king has said.
Man, this sister right here, she's setting this heathen up. She's setting this heathen up for death. You understand? Now, this sister was very beautiful and delicate and all that. But when her uncle came to her about saving her nation, she knew what time it was. Right. You understand? She became, like the scriptures say, harmless as a dove, but subtile. Subtile meaning intelligence. Right. You understand? To be intelligent, but to do it in a way that you can't even. It's like to be in a secret way. Right. Which all of us are supposed to be. Right. We living in America, and even though we coming together, coming back to our nation and all that, you supposed to go to work and all that, do your job amongst white people, and you want some coffee and talk to them about the Cubs game and whatever. But they don't know that you coming together. You coming together as a nation, so a nigga could come out the sky and put them in chains. Right. Now you ain't supposed to go to work and say, you know what? Yeah, one day. you going in slavery. Right. But don't do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can go there, work your 9 to 5, pay your tithes, pay your donations, do whatever you got to do. And meanwhile, we building as a nation. Y'all see it right now. You know what I'm saying? When I first started, when I first came to school, I did the Feast of Purim. I did it with. Take a big fat guess when I did the Feast of Purim with. Nobody. It was just me and the Bible. And I was reading the book of Esther and talking to nobody. Right? You understand? Now, look, you know what I'm saying? A few brothers and sisters in here, which is going to be great later. Right? You don't believe it's going to be great later. You're in the wrong place. That's right. Even though I was there by myself, I knew that one day I was going to be sitting before brothers and sisters. That's right. You understand? That's what you call it's called faith. And if you got a lack of faith, you can't achieve anything. Right. Right. Even though America is a wicked nation, or whatever the case may be, the men who started America, John Adams and who else? These guys right here, they had belief that the things that they did was going to one day make their country great, and their children was going to one day be the greatest kingdom in the world. You understand? And look at America now, off of a few men's belief. And if you do the research on America before they voted against the British, the majority of the people was not with revolt against the British. They was comfortable with being slaves, which is what people, that's the mindset that people get into, which is the mindset of Israel into. Israel don't want no trouble from the white people and all of this. Right. We rather just kill each other, sell each other crack, be whores, have abortions, and do everything with it. But when you talk about coming against the white man, if you even talk about speaking against the white man, no trouble with that. You understand? But these gangsters in the UPK, we want trouble. We look for trouble. Go ahead.
If I could, a little white Jewish boy tried to come to me. He was like, hey, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I really know if I can come in there and sit down with you.
Right.
I said, no, you can't come sit down with us.
Right.
He said, why not? I said, you got to do the feast of the Purim. He was like, oh, what's that? I said, right. So you Jewish, right?
Right.
He said, I just want to know if I can come and be a part of that. I said, you see, over there.
Right. Right.
You go do that.
Right.
You can't come over here.
Get it, brother. We really are separatists. You're from another nation. You're a crusty foot African. I'm gonna go into something told us bigger. They eat this food. I ain't talking about these other heathens, man. Go ahead.
It's sad that they came and take our culture and say they're Jews,
right?
But yet they don't know the hell Feast of Purim.
He don't even know what the damn Feast of Purim is, and he claiming to be a Jew.
Right.
I mean, what in the hell is going on? You get my point? Sit on this side, bro. That's the other side right there. All right. All right, let's go. Who read? Let's go.
Verse 9. Then went Haman, joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
You said Mordecai still ain't moving for this cat. Mordecai somewhere in this nation, and when I say this nation, he's somewhere in the UPK right now. Right? You understand? This brother seen this cat, and he still ain't showing him no respect. Huh? You understand? Still to this day, and that pissed Haman off. Right. Even more. Keep reading.
Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends. And Zeresh, his wife. Go ahead. Verse 11. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches, and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him. Go ahead. And how he had advanced him above the prince and servants of the king.
He went home to his partners and his wife, and he said, listen, this Haman, this the heathen that hate the Jews. He went and told his wife and his friends all the power, you understand, that the king had given him. Right. All right, keep going.
Verse 12. Haman said, moreover, Esther the queen, then let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared. And tomorrow I am invited unto her also with the king.
This heathen, he's sitting here bragging, talking about, man, I'm the king that promoted me. The queen, she done invited me to this big feast and dinner and all that. He don't know that what she got planned for. He just don't know. Keep going.
Verse 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing. So long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate.
Right. He don't care about none of that. He bragging about it, but he's still worried about this cat that disrespecting him. Like that's a heathen for you, mama. Right. He just wants you to bow down to him. Right. You understand? He's still worried about this one cat that didn't reference him, which is what America is all about. At the end of the day, white people have a problem with you when you want to separate from them. Right. When you get to talking about, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. The first thing white person said, oh, well, why not? They want to know why you ain't a slave. You understand? They like that sparks their interest right there. Why you ain't like all the rest of these niggas? Right. You know what I'm saying? That we pay $1 million to, and they run up and down the court, the football field, all the great actors and all that. They want to look at you and say, well, what makes you different? Why you ain't doing, you know what I'm saying, the custom that we didn't start? You get my point? And they got a problem with that. Right. They like these heathens got a problem with you standing up not just slave physically, but spiritually as well. Right? You know what I'm saying? The only white people respect monkeys. Right? You understand? They look at you when you're a good nigga and you know your place and you a slave and all that. They say like a pet. That's right. Go ahead.
Look at all these other nations. Right now, America's at war with China. They're at war with the Arabs, everything like that. But they respect those other nations because those nations make a stand for themselves. But they don't respect black people because when they do something wrong to black people, we say, well, God loves everybody. We should forgive and forget. Right. They respect the nation that stands up for their own people. Right. So they will never respect black people unless we stand up for black people.
Right. You can say what you want about the Arabs. They might, you know what I'm saying, strap a bomb to them, get on the airplane, go up the airplane, strap a bomb to them, and do whatever they do. But what you don't know is that they doing that because the white man is over in their country, starving their people out with his embargoes and all that. And look it up. You know, America goes all over the globe, and they put an embargo on your nation, which means other countries can't trade with your nation, which means they starve the nation out. Like y'all be thinking these Arabs be getting on planes with bombs and blowing up their stuff because they like to do that. That's the way that's the only way they can fight. A lot of these Arab countries, heathen countries, they don't have the military and the technological power to fight America the way that they need to be fought. So what they do, they send somebody who's dedicated to strap some bombs in them, go walk in a restaurant, blow up the whole. That's the only way that they can fight. But you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you don't have the spirit of warfare in you. The only spirit you got in you is love. And not love in its Father, Lord, but love in a feminine type way. When it's time to go to war, you go buy you some gym shoes from Walmart or Kmart and say, oh, it's time to go march. You know, the police killing our sons and daughters. Go buy me a pair of shoes, tennis shoes. That's not warfare. Marching up and down the street, begging the people that you're supposed to be fighting, you begging the white man for justice, and he looking at it like, I took the justice from you because that's what I want to do. Begging the man that took justice from you for justice. White people, you can't get justice by begging for it. Right. You can't get freedom by begging for it. Right. The only way any nation have ever been able to get freedom or justice is somebody got to die. Right. I know you don't want to die, but that's how you get it. Right. The only way black people won't be saved is somebody got to say, you know what? I got to do what I got to do, even if it costs my life. Like this sister said, right. You understand? This is she said, even if it costs my life, I'm gonna go to the king. And if that king report that section of her, she was gonna be put to death. Right. And nevertheless, she stood up like a woman's supposed to do. Damn right. Who give a damn about her nation.
That's right. Keep reading. Verse 14. The rest is white, and all his friends unto him. Let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high. 50 cubits high.
What is a gallows? Go ahead.
It's like that one. It's a wood structure that you hang people on.
Yeah, like a cross. You understand? You see that big old cross that people be wearing around their neck and all that. You understand? That's really what the Romans used to use to torture people. Right. You wearing a damn cross around your neck, I've been a Christian I've been a Baptist my whole life. You sitting there with the cross and the white Jesus on there, like you worshiping God, and you realize you worshiping Satan. Right. The cross is what they used to use to put people on to torture. Right. That's why it's a cross. The body laying this way, and for your arms to be like, yeah, once your arms hanging up, you're going to sit up there and hang and lose breath and die. Right. Go ahead.
When a Christian cross is like, okay, so the Christ is the Christ killed on it. So a cross, you're representing the thing that he was killed on. Right. So if your mom was killed by a gun, would you wear a necklace of a gun?
Right.
No, you would not. You would never place it.
Right. You gonna hate guns. You understand? Our people walking around with crosses on. Yeah. That was. You ask them, what the word holy mean? I asked a sister who was she said she's been in the church 30 years. I said, sis, what holy mean right there? She said, something I said, sis, I understand.
Holy means something. What the hell is that? You get my point? Right. Don't get me started on these Christians. Let's go. Where we at?
Concept. Be made 50 cubits high.
Go ahead.
And tomorrow,
Like what verse you at?
I'm in the middle of verse 14, sir.
Go ahead.
And tomorrow, speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hung thereon. Then go down and merrily with the king.
So now this cat Haman, you understand? What he's doing is he devised a plan to have his cat Mordecai hung from a gallows. You understand? That's what he gonna do. All because his cat would not bow. You understand? Like y'all, okay, y'all brothers being preached, y'all gotta understand. When you go out on these street corners or whatever the case may be, you standing there on posts and all of that, you showing great defiance to the greatest kingdom that ever been erected on planet Earth. Right? And these people was looking at you like they got some balls to be doing what they're doing. But also remember too, some people looking at that and they respect that. Like real people respect what you're doing. That's right. You understand? You are a small body of men who decided to say, you know what, I'm not gonna stand for the flag. You understand? I'm not gonna do the way it looks here. You get my point? Any man that stand up and salute the flag, knowing all the things that America have done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Right. It's because we live, so use the flag. That's right. You got a problem with me come see. Right. You know, I ain't running. I'm just gonna keep using the flag. Yeah. I'm right. Straight up. That's right. A faggot is the worst thing you could be. I say faggot, I don't mean just a man that sleep with another man. Meaning you don't got no balls. That's right. To do what's right. That's right. Your nation is in need for you to stand up and be a goddamn man. That's right. So why don't you do that? Your nation is in need for you sisters to stand up and be sisters. Teaching. You understand what I'm saying? So why don't you do something that everybody else is not doing? Everybody celebrate Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day can be for black people. Right. Black people just celebrating Christmas and all that. And the murder rate in Chicago is worse than last year. That's right. What happened to the tree and all that? And bringing gifts and everybody having a good time. What happened? All of them things mean nothing. Right. Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and coming together. That's right. My point. Right. Let's go. Concept. Unto the banquet. And the thing, I'm gonna move we told us the end of verse 14, sir. Go ahead. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. Verse 6. On that 6. Let the young man pick it up. Come on. Relax. Go ahead, man.
On that night, could not the king sleep. And he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles. And they were read before the king.
Right here, this king couldn't even sleep. This night right here. He told me, he said, man, go in the records, a lot of people bring the records. Keep going, bro.
And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bethana and Teresh of the king's chamberlains.
That's right.
The keepers of the door who sought to lay hand on the king as a right. And the king said, what honor and dignity has been done to Mordecai for this?
Right. So you understand? So what he did was he remembered that Mordecai. Remember now, these two cats sought out to kill the king. Right. So he remembered what he went through the records and found the records where Mordecai is the cat that stopped these two cats who had conspiracy to kill him. And he said, what been done to this man? Meaning, what type of good been done to this man for what he done?
Then said the king, the servant that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
Ain't nothing been done. Keep going.
And the king said, who is in the court. Now Haman was come into the outer court of the house, of the king's house, to speak unto the king, to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
He came to the king because he want to get this brother hung, right? He want to get him hung. Keep going.
And the king's servant said unto him, Behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, Let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, What shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself?
Right. This cat here, this said, who is going to get honored before me? Right. Keep going.
And Haman answered the king, For the man whom the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought, which the king useth to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of the one, the king most noble princes. That they
right there, we go down. So now I'm gonna skip you along. This what they decided was whoever was more honorable than Haman, he should be offered all type of gifts. You know what I'm saying? Clothing, jewelry, riding on the king's horse, and all of that. But Haman didn't know is that Mordecai was the cat that was about to get his blessing. Right. The so-called Jew that he conspired to kill, the cat that was honorable for him. Right. Which goes to show you that when you do what the Lord said to do, the Lord can't no enemy. I don't give a damn who conspires to kill you or who is against you. If the Lord is with you, can't no man come against you. Right.
Right. The scripture is saying when you walk in God's statutes and commandments, and no evil thing shall touch you. Right. Evil thing that combines in deceiving or concocting to destroy Mordecai, the Lord ain't gonna let it happen.
That's right.
He's following the Lord.
That's right. That's right. Keep going. Let's get down to verse 11.
Pharaoh and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the streets of the city, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
Right.
And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house, mourning and having his head covered.
You see that? Haman, he seen what was being done to Mordecai, and he was like, "Oh man, this made him sad." You understand that this cat that he was conspired to kill was getting honored. You understand now? Why is Mordecai being honored right now? Young man.
Because he followed the Lord.
Because he followed the Lord. Somebody grab Proverbs 16 and 7 from me real quick. And then go away to chapter 7, verse 1. But let's get Proverbs 16 and 7. We got to move along because we ain't got much time.
I got 3 cards.
You understand? Read that.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 17.
Go ahead.
The highway.
It's like Proverbs 16 and 7.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Ways please the Lord.
When what?
When a man's ways please the Lord.
When your ways please the Lord, meaning when you're going out there and you're doing what the Lord asks you to do, which is simple. Don't eat certain foods, walk in a certain manner, don't celebrate holidays and all that. When your ways please the Most High, keep going.
He maketh even his enemies with him.
Oh man, that's a powerful scripture right there. Read that again.
When a man's ways please the Lord,
he
maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
You know what I'm saying? When your ways please the Lord, even your enemies gonna be at peace with you. That's right. This cat, the king, was an enemy to the Jews. He had them enslaved, and yet he about to send out a decree for the Jews not to get destroyed. You understand? Like that's how we go. Like you don't have to get rid of who you are, your nationality and everything like that. You know, I go to my slave every day. They know almost you. The people who I work for, which is all white people, the bar know, they went and looked up the website and everything and see that we hate white people. Right. They ask the bar. When I go there, they show me favor in there. Right. I'm good to go. I'm the boss. I'm offer to that. Offers to buy me lunch every day. Right. I told the boss, the white boss that I work for, which is the blue-eyed devil, he knows what I do. He looking right now to try to get us a camp speaker. That's what we're doing. We out there right now. I mean, so much to the point. I told him that we good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to get this way. You know what I'm saying? You guys, I'm telling you, see the speaker you got now is for a guitar. So, go ahead. Show us what I said. You stand for your people, other nations respect that. That's right. That's the point. Me and the father walking there. Jews, black, all of that. They sit right there. They listen to what we're saying. They might not like what we're saying, but like Lamar said, they respect it. Right. Like, I'm not in this to be hiding that I'm an Israelite. Right. I don't go to work duck down and like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep this duck low or whatever. Now, of course, you ain't supposed to go to your slavery and go to camp. You don't want to just people go to slavery. Right. But for sure, I'm not hiding that I'm an Israelite. Right. Because when white people come to work, they don't hide that they French. Right. They don't hide that they English. Right. Arabs come there, they come there with their turban on and all that. That's right. They represent who they are. Right. So that's what we got to do as a nation. We got to be proud of who you are. That's right. You get my point? Right. Don't run from that.
So the king and Haman.
What words we at?
Esther chapter 7, verse 1.
Go ahead.
So the king and Haman came to the banquet.
They did what?
They came to the banquet.
This heathen came on to this banquet. He still don't know what's about to go down. He came to the banquet happy go lucky. Right? Keep going.
With Esther the queen. Mm-hmm. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther, and it shall be granted thee. Uh-huh. And what is thy request? Uh-huh. And it shall be performed. Mm-hmm. Even to the half of the kingdom.
Like he let them know, like whatever you request, that you want, it's gonna be done to the half. The half of the kingdom is yours. Right. Whatever you want, I'm gonna do it. You understand the bar? Pick up where the brother left off. Verse 3, 7 verse 3.
Esther chapter 7 verse 3. Then Esther, the queen, answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, right, O king, let my life be given me at my petition, mm-hmm, and my people at my request. Mm-hmm. For we are sold, I and my people.
Sister right here speaking up for her nation. She's saying, I'm coming to you right now because my people, it's been a decree put out for me and my people to be destroyed. Right. Why do you think this sister's name is in this Bible? Because it's just, she got a pretty name or something. This sister stood up for her nation. Right. It's just one sister, right? Just one. Right. Now imagine if you had 10 Esthers. You understand? They said, you know what, I'm gonna not be selfish and I'm gonna put black people before I put myself. Right. I'm gonna go to this job every day, go to this job, and know everything that I do, I'm doing at this job to further help my nation move along. That's right. Imagine you had 10 of those. Imagine you had 10 red clothes like that. All right. The brother clothes is like, he can't even take it. He can't even take it. You know what I'm saying? Like you had 10 ribs that had the spirit that this is the had right here. Now you can float on pride every time you see me out like this. What's wrong with you, man? I got 10 Esthers. You get my point? Keep reading.
But we are sold to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish.
They're trying to wipe you out. Go ahead.
But if we had been sold for bondman and bondwoman. I had held my tongue.
I had what?
Held my tongue.
What she just said. Go ahead.
We would have been sold and slaves if I would have held my tongue.
Right. We about to get, a decree been put out for us to get killed. If it was a decree just been put out for us to be slaves, I wouldn't even say it. You understand? I wouldn't even say that. But the fact that a decree been put out for us to be slaughtered and killed, then that's why I'm saying something. I'd rather be, if we were just slaves, I wouldn't even, and slavery is for. You know what I'm saying? They're already slaves.
Right.
You get my point? So she's saying if that had been put out, I wouldn't even say nothing, but I'm coming to you for a particular reason. Right. Keep going.
Although the enemy could not counterbalance the king's damage.
Right. They can't come against nothing. Can't no enemy come against what you say.
The king Ahasuerus answered and said to Esther, the queen.
And if I could, y'all hear how these brothers read right here. I'm sitting here begging y'all brothers, man, to read powerful, y'all. Now you got this is the spirit that you became right here. Right, my bad. This is a powerful. When you pick up the pray, you don't just pick up the pray. You pick that pray up. Keep reading. Right. The Lord gave you a powerful voice for a reason. Be a goddamn man. Y'all sitting there reading like y'all in the damn choir.
Right.
You understand? You see how his voice is echoing through the whole joint? That's how you're supposed to read. Right. I just had to bring that point out. Keep going. Go ahead.
Isaiah 51 says what? Cry aloud. You are crying out loud if you're anything like a bar. That's what I understand. Everyone in this whole building is going to hear you. Not only the camera, not only us. Right. Understand? Imagine that you're talking to a congregation of 1,000 people. Right. Christ. Right. Understand? The Lord gave you a deep voice, so use it.
Right. Most high Christ. Let's get it.
Who is he? And where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so? And Esther said, the adversary and the enemy is the wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king.
He was what?
Was afraid before the king. Rising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
You see that? You see that? This sister right here, and she set him up. Yeah, I'm just keeping it 100. She said that, told him, y'all come on to this feast right here. And what he didn't know is that she told him to come to the feast so she could tell the king, this excuse my French, this motherfucker right here is trying to kill my nation.
Right.
It's lucky. Right. Y'all out there. I'm on YouTube, everything else. You know what I'm saying? This cat right here is trying to destroy our nation. Go ahead. You good. You're not gonna block. You want block talk?
I'm blog talk, but YouTube is still YouTube. No sweat.
Yeah, no sweat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'll take my check. But you get my point. Like she like this cat. He realized now that he been brought here to be put to death. Right. This sister then she didn't went to the king. You know what I'm saying? To put this cat to death because he trying to destroy her nation. Right. Keep going. Where we at?
Esther chapter 7 verse 8. Go ahead. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, also before me in the house.
You already messed up. You gonna sleep with my woman? I'm laying in her bed crying and weeping. Like he really jamming himself up. Right. Keep going.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold, also the gallows which Haman was made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. said, hang him thereon.
Oh, man, get him Most High. Get him Most High. He wanted not only Mordecai to get who was a black man, so-called Benjamin West, and he wanted the whole nation to be destroyed.
Right.
And what the Lord do, the Lord flipped it. All because Mordecai, you gotta learn a lesson from this. Mordecai stood on the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? And not only that, now remember now, Mordecai raised his sister Esther. That's who you get for right now. You raising up sisters to be in the same spirit that Esther is in. Right. And when you raising the sister up, it's gonna be some, you know, it's gonna be a lot of trial and error. That's right. There's gonna be a lot of her moving her head and like a snake, talking about rage and all that. But in order for you to get that woman together, you're gonna have to be a gangster. That's right. You know what I'm saying? If you bitch made, then that woman gonna have you, you know what I'm saying, she gonna run you. That's right. If you bitch made, guess what? The UPK is not for you. They got it. I.U.S.C. That's correct. You go to I.U.S.C. where the women run it. That's right. You understand? The woman ain't gonna run anything in there. They get ran. They get told what to do. Go cook this. Go clean the house. This. Go get a book. Go whatever the case may be. Do something. And trying to further help these men in the work. Right. Right. You get my point? And so this sister, she was like she was because Mordecai raised her up to be like that. All right. Go ahead. Train up the children the way that they should go, and they shall never depart. That's right. You understand? You got to be a great teacher, but in order to be a great teacher, you got to be a great follower. That's right. I'm sitting here today and teaching y'all because I follow the man. I went all right. When I first started listening to U.P.K, I was doing this, breaking up lunch, and doing all types of things that I hadn't been doing. Right. You understand? In order to be a great man, you got to be taught by another great man in order to get your shit straight. That's right. And that's what's needed in this nation right now. As a black man, guess what? You got to get your shit in order. That's right. You understand? It's time to stop getting high. Right. How many blunts you gonna smoke? I mean, go ahead.
Like we want to have justice in America. We want the white man to change the things that he's doing to us. But yeah, we want to change ourselves for our own benefit. Right. So we want the white men to stop killing us, but we'll kill each other over drugs. Right. We'll kill each other by being homosexual. Right. But we want the white man to change. Right. You're a hypocrite. Yeah. Right. And that's what the Lord hates. That's right.
You ain't gonna beat the white man again just as wicked as him. Right. You understand? Like you, once again, you're not understanding that black people don't understand that you're under a curse. Right. From the Lord, from God. And you're under a curse because your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you under a contract with the Most High. You don't even know it. You don't even know it because you're getting wiped out from your history. You're walking every day just thinking you're a regular person. You're not a regular person. Right. You are a chosen seed. And right. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't just, you know, this bottling if you just want to choose to do it and keep these laws, you know, keep the laws, you know. You don't have any option. That's right. You command. That's why it's called command. You ain't got no choice but to command. Right. You understand? Let's go.
So they hang Haman on the gallows. Oh, yeah. Esther chapter 7 verse 10. So they hang Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Right. Pacified.
The king was satisfied not because he hung this evening. Right. Keep going.
Esther chapter 8 verse 1. On the day did the king I.S.U.P.K give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the king. Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king. For Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. Verse 3. And Esther spake yet until again before the king, and fell down at his feet, tears to put away the mischief of Haman and Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews.
You understand? So basically, this sister, she did what she had to do. She was a queen, and she was a queen in a heathen kingdom, stood up for her people, and now she got the book of Esther. Go ahead.
If I could, what the woman just did was she used all her beauty and all her femininity to get something about a man. Like she didn't, you gonna do this, you gonna do that. She cried. That's soft. Like when a man see that, he be like, oh, nah, you don't cry. Right, I got you.
Right.
Like she knew what to use. Like,
right.
like the sister used it, like she played.
She was raised. Yeah. Once again, that's what happens when you raise well. If you ain't raised well, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna grow up and be a monster from the Black Lagoon. Right. You know what I'm saying? So this is the right here. She did what she had to do. And because of it, the nation got saved. Let's skip all the way to verse 9, verse 1. We're gonna wrap that up there, right? 9, verse 1. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And you can read the rest of the story on your own. Okay. Go ahead.
Esther, chapter 9, verse 1. Now in the 12th month, that is, the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, so it was turned that the Jews had rule over them that hated them. The Jews gathered themselves together throughout all the provinces of the king I.S.U.P.K to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them.
You see that the nation gathered together. Glory. Let's keep going.
For the fear of them fell upon all people.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians come together. Fear is gonna come on these other nations.
Damn right.
That's right.
Keep going.
And all the rulers of the provinces, and the lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king.
Let me skip you along. Go ahead. Let's go to verse 20.
And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month of God, and the 15th day of the same yearly.
All right, hold on one second. Go ahead.
So at this point, I know we said chapter 8 and whatnot. At this point, when Haman got put to death, and at that point, Mordecai, the king of Syria, appointed Mordecai in the place of Haman. So right now, Haman has the same type of authority that Mordecai has the authority that Haman used to have. Right? So right now, he is in charge of a good portion of the kingdom of Syria. Jews and everything else, what to do at this point in time to keep you all updated.
Right. You understand? Basically, and what happened is this thing that was done that Esther did became a feast.
That's
right. The Lord, you know what I'm saying, want us to keep this feast forever. Right. Which we are about to do after we send up these prayers.
That's right.
It's glorious, beautiful food that these sisters cook and whatever. Any of you brothers cook today? And none of you brothers cook? All right. Come on now. Y'all always told me that. So we about to eat this glorious food, man, and what this did was a very, very humble thing. You can read the rest of the story on your own, but for the time's sake, we're going to go ahead and send these prayers.
All right, my gym would be safe. Upon our redemption, we're going to speak again. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. So repeat as it means to the best of your abilities. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shukah, Yahweh, Malakah, Ayah,
Hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. In earth. In earth. As it is in heaven. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debt. And forgive us our debt. As we forgive our debt. As we forgive our debt. And lead us not. And lead us not into temptation. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. But deliver us from evil. God is the kingdom. God is the kingdom. And the power. And the power. And the glory. And the glory. So be it. So be it.
Sisters, I.S.U.P.K, which we seated. Men of Israel, Amon Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, which means, Lord, in the name of Christ, bless you. Yes, Baton. Sisters, Amajim, which is Sam. Men of Israel, Sar, turn of his sisters. Amon Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, sisters, repeat after me. Yahweh, Shamar, Al, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, which means the Lord bless you in the name of Christ. Now, classes, service is dismissed.